Right, the next project is this, and I think this is really, really different. So I'm just going to turn this around so that you can see it and that it stands up. So using the bow, bear with, fold these back a bit, in a slightly different way to create a freestanding card. Now, I would definitely be cutting these across here to make it level so that it will stand. But how lovely is that? Even, you know what, putting it on a present. So wrapping a present in something like a plain craft paper and then popping this on as the bow, I think it's really pretty. So we're going to show you how to make this one. That one's got glitter on, this one hasn't. So you can see the difference between the two. So let's start with the little legs. So you're going to cut 4 out of that lovely, it's almost like a cornflower blue. It's very pretty. It's like got a slightly purple hue to it. And you're going to stick one on top of the other like that, all right, twice. So you've got the 2 legs. So I've got red liner tape on. And I'm going to position that over the top of there. And that's the first one. And then the second one's going on. Like that. And then your white ones, your decorative panels, are going to go on top of there. Okay, so we're just going to peel this back. And remember, it's going to be inset slightly. So we just need to look at it as a whole and just line it up nice and neat in the centre of there. And then the same with the other one. This would be a nice one for you to make with the children, especially with the little penguins on, which are super, super cute. Move that one up a little bit. Now, if you ever do this and you get red liner tape, you need to be really gentle when you're peeling it back. It will come up until you really put pressure on it. So just be gentle. Right, so we've got those pieces now. So what I would do is turn this over and just cut a straight line along there, okay? So just then put this edge, this straight edge then against your scissors so it continues in a straight line like that. And then the same on this one. Cut that, move your scissors up, just balance that against those scissors like that and cut that one. And that will mean that that will stand better. And then you're just going to very gently just bend that back. You could do it on a scoreboard if you wanted to, but they will then stand like that. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that's where you're aiming for, just cutting those little bits off the back. Right, let's get rid of those and then let's do this. So this is really simple again. We're going to use 2 of these and each one of them is going to make 1/2 of the actual bow itself. So I'm going to take the red liner off that, a little bit of stray bit there, and if you've gone over with your red liner tape, just tuck it back, all right, so there's none of it sticking out at the top or the bottom of the bow. So just taking off that backing. See, it sticks to you. And then I'm going to go from the middle. I've got a little bit of extra tape there. I'm going to go in the middle, make sure that that's central. And then when that's central, everything else will just line up accordingly. Okay, like that. So don't just be too quick to really press everything down, just manipulate it out. It never ceases to amaze me how much you can really put a piece of card through the ringer. You know, you can really flex it and stretch it before it gives up the ghost and splits. It is quite amazing, and it depends on the tightness of the fibres, the length of the fibres. You know, we've talked a lot about pro paper and how that works, and it's just understanding the makeup of a piece of paper and what it's meant to do. And it's great. I mean, good grief, when a lot of us first started, it was like copy paper and that was it, wasn't it? How it's changed, it's amazing. Got all these fabulous products now that we would never have dreamt of having. Right, so you've now got your 2 bows. So again, we're going to do what we did on the previous project, and we're just going to stretch these gently. So we're starting to curve that card, stretch those fibres. And I prefer doing it with my hands. I think it's gentler than getting a big bone folder on it. And it just gently stretches those fibres rather than really pushing them in. So I've got a Kit and Caboodle glue gun this time. Just work out this bit. Sorry, I'm just going to have a look at this card to make sure that I'm doing this the right way around, because it looks slightly different, but it is right. So I'm going to stick those 2 together like that this time. Okay, so that's slightly different to the one that we did before. So not curving them into the middle, but curving them over to meet each other like that. I looked at it and I thought that doesn't look like the one that I've got. Right, so Kit and Caboodle glue gun. This is an absolute must-have. It's brilliant. It's one of those glue guns that just gets to the temperature that it needs to and then holds its heat. So it's not too, I mean, look, I can put my fingers on that there and it's not hot. And I've had some serious burns from hot glue in my time, but it just melts to just the right melting point, which is why it doesn't drip all over your table, because it drives me bonkers when you buy glue sticks and most of it ends up on your desk. So it's a really good one. It's cordless, so you just charge it with a USB plug. It's a really, really good glue gun, and it has a really fine nozzle. So for doing things like this, it's just perfect. Really is a good one. So a little bit more glue on there, like that. Fold that over, and then, look, I can just grab that. No problem whatsoever. So then these 2 are going to stick together like that. Okay, so we're going to do that bit next so that bit's done and it can just be setting. So a nice bit of glue on there, and then that one on top of that. So again, it's, use the right tool for the right job, because it makes it easier. And yes, you might have to buy an extra different bottle of glue or a glue gun or whatever, but it will make your crafting experience more pleasurable. And we don't want to go in our craft rooms and get stressed because the glue isn't sticking, do we? We want to be able to do things and enjoy that creative process. Right, you also get this little strip, and this little strip is going to wrap around here and cover up all the workings underneath. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue, just a tiny bit there, and I'm going to position that over the top of there. Okay, I'm going to get it about central. And then I'm going to fold that round, and that gives us that really nice, neat finish. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto the back there so that the bit that wraps around the top gets stuck down. And then a little bit of glue on there. And then that gets stuck down. And just try and make sure that that's lined up straight, okay? So it's nice and even all the way around, and that gives us that fabulous bow. Now I think that on a gift would look amazing. And you could have these pieces coming out like this if you wanted to, which would look really nice as well as a big bow. Would it work like that? Yes, it would. It would work like that too if you wanted to go really extravagant. But for this one, what we're going to do is create the legs. So we're going to make this the stand. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue those 2 together like that. So I'm lining up on my glass mat here. I'll do it up here so you can see it. I'm going to use this line that goes across here, and I'm going to line up the bottom of those legs and then just slightly move one over the other, okay? I'm just thinking about how it's going to stand, I think. Or do I do it this way? Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do them separate because putting them together I think isn't going to quite get them level. So I'm going to put glue onto there, stick one behind there, And I don't want them too angled because I want it to be able to stand up. And then I'm going to put glue behind the other one. That's it. There we go. Like that. Okay, so I've then got the other one there. Like that. That's very pretty. And just make sure that that's pressed down nice and firmly, that you've got enough glue on there that it's going to hold. Like that. And then we bring in our little characters. This is just super cute, isn't it? Now you could put it over here, but you could also put it in the centre. And I quite like it in the centre. I think it works. I think it looks really pretty in there. So I've got 3 layers of this. So let's just do a little bit of snipping out. So I'm going to cut away the little lamp on the second one. And I'm going to cut round the middle little bubble on the hat, and then I'm going to cut into here. So I'm just going to snip in here, snip this away, so I've got the larger one and the one in the middle still left behind. Okay, like that. And even this little bit, you know, you could have him just peeping out. So if you put, you know, if you stuck him like that onto a piece of card, you could have him just peeping round the corner, maybe on the back of your card. That would look quite cute. And then on the third one, so that's going to then decoupage up there, and then on the third one I'm just going to have the large penguin. Okay, so just snipping down, just joining up those little cut lines that are already in that die for you. All been thought through. And I'm actually going to cut round that little hymn book, I think, because I think that'll look quite cute. And it'll finish off that design. So we'll cut round there. Like so. Okay, so let's get rid of the bits that we don't need. And let's build these up with some pin flare glue gel, because I want to add that depth and dimension. So I'm leaving this layer flat, and I'm adding a little bit of curve into that second layer, like that, and then a little bit more curve into this. And I'm actually just going to snip away the bottom of that penguin. So I've just got the book at the bottom, like that. So let's get rid of that bit, like so. There we go. And then that can stick over the top of there. So his feet are behind the book and the book is sticking forward, which is exactly how it would be. So that's going to go on there, and he's going to go on there like that. Perfect. Right, so now what we need to do is stick this into the centre of here. Now again, because this is quite rounded, we're going to need to put a decent amount of glue in there. So I'm going to use glue gel, but you could use a foam pad. But can you see I'm really building that up? So we've got a nice big blob of glue there, and then I'm going to pop that into the middle of there, and that is your lovely bow. So I'll show you the one that's glittered with the penguin in a different position. There you go. And then the one that we've just done. But either way, as a card or as a decorative element on a really simple wrapping, would look fabulous for Christmas.